a lot of people think they're being patient when they're actually ignoring looking at the details. It's not patience when you sit back and you're not doing something about it. Business is hard.
Should one endure making a loss at some point in their business?
I like how you've put that question because people think the opposite of success is failure. No.
All right.
The formula for success is failure plus failure plus failure plus failure equals success. If you do not have Umupampamina, you have already failed in business. People are in two extremes. There are those that are very aggressive about how they do things, and then there are those that are very slow at approaching things, and the balance is important.
Welcome to the Waluversity Podcast with Dr. Walubita Siyanga.
Dr. Walu, I am back.
Yes, pleasure to have
I am
you.
back on your podcast, and I think I am a living figure of this book, Umupampamina, because I am here again.
Yes. I like that.
Umupampamina, mastering patient aggressivity in business.
Yes.
What's the motivation?
The concept came from my conversation with one Nigerian friend, and he had been in Zambia for about 2 to 3 years, and he was comparing cultures, and he was talking about how Zambians in particular are not, they haven't mastered that art of patient aggressivity, and how Nigerians are. When he was telling me, say, my brother, when a Nigerian means to do something, a Nigerian would do something, and we talked about how Nigerians are very successful, talk about football, talk about music. They've gotten away with Grammys, awards, and in any industry, they dominate. Talking about the richest person in Africa, Dangote, Nigerian, and many other millionaires and billionaires that Nigeria has been able to produce. So then he asked me, he's like, do you have a local phrase for that patient aggressivity that Nigerians have? And the closest I could come up with is Umupampamina. And it's from that conversation that the book was born, because I think the phrase actually from that conversation was, if you do not have Umupampamina, you have already failed in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Is this something that is embedded in genes? Because I mean, you mentioned Nigerians. On the African continent, I think there are few people that can match their aggressiveness, their drive, their energy. Their Umupampamina is promise.
Yeah. I think it goes with environment. I think it goes with context, because I know, for example, a country like Nigeria, there's a lot of people. It's very competitive. For you to rise to success in anything, you really have to prove yourself. You have to be worth your salt. And from a Christian point of view also, the biggest churches in Africa, sometimes in the world, are from Nigeria. So when you look at the Nigerian pastor, you look at the Nigerian business, they just have that. So it's culturing. Coming to our country in the land of work and joy, we are a landlocked country. We're surrounded by other countries. Sometimes, unfortunately, that has produced a lot of passivity. We're very casual in our approach. Generally, talking as a Zambian, we're not very, very aggressive. We're not so much of go-getters. We don't have that drive, that passion to get things done. So for us, I think it's something that has to be a bit more deliberate. It's something that has to be a bit more intentional if somebody's going to succeed. And anybody, again, speaking from what I've seen in our environment, who decides to be intentional like that always becomes a success, and that always happens.
Yeah. Listen, one of the interesting chapters in this book is chapter 4, page 20, The Art of Balancing the Sprint and the Marathon in Business.
Yes. That chapter talks about how in your go-getting or in your doing business, you must learn to master both when to jog, and when to sprint. movement and, progression is mandatory in business. You always have to keep making progress. But sometimes some goals will elude you if you are so aggressive and you're doing the sprint. Some goals need you to go slow. All right. Some goals, in other ways, need you to exercise patience at you actualizing, because there's some things that are process based kind of thing. Yeah. They need you to go through a process for you to achieve. They need you to take the time. Some things mature over time. Yeah. So when it's something that you are told, okay, this will only be ready in 3 years' time, it doesn't mean you close your eyes and forget about it. If it's a business concept, a business idea, it's something that needs you to monitor and work at for the next 3 years until you see it into maturation. But there are other things that don't have to take 3 years. There are other things that can be done in 6 months and they produce a lot of money. So you need to learn, okay, this one I need to sprint, this one I need to jog or to slow down and take it easy. Patient aggressivity, Umupampamina, is about embracing both that sprint and that run and knowing when to run and when to just take it slow and jog. But you're making progress.
But how do you tell? How do you tell the difference?
I think what I notice is those kind of ideas or businesses that need a jog, people normally throw them away. People are in two extremes. There are those that are very aggressive about how they do things. Yeah. And then there are those that are very slow at approaching things. And the balance is important. So it's a matter of if a goal is going to take long or if a business idea will take time to mature. Are you willing to work on it every day, even if it's for 3 years? Are you willing to go through the details? Are you willing to work through it literally? And if it's something that you are told, we need you to deliver this in 3 weeks, can you also now shape up and align and actually work with the pace that will require delivery in 3 weeks? A lot of people are not capable of being able to iterate in both aspects.
All right. Yeah. But basically, this is premised on the fact that you need the patience, isn't it?
Yes.
As you hope to attain your dreams and things of that sort.
Yes, you need the patience, but you also need the speed. I know it's confusing. It's just knowing what needs. Let me introduce the concept of iteration. There's a chapter on iteration in there as well. The word iteration or to iterate talks about the ability to work with the information that is coming at the time. Yeah. So, for example, you are told, okay, we may give you this business, keep checking on us. You are told come after 1 week. All right. Can you go after 1 week and check? But it doesn't hurt also to just keep giving courtesy calls and finding out what's going on so that just in case there's some adjustment or some change, you quickly iterate and go there. Because I've had situations where someone says, oh, we could have given you the business deal, but there's a particular deal we're trying to get to you, we couldn't. So we ended up giving someone because they also wanted this particular paper to be attached, but your submission didn't have. Okay. Why? Because you are not following through and getting information as you go and adjusting yourself with information. A lot of people think they're being patient when they're actually ignoring looking at the details. It's not patience when you sit back and you're not doing something about it. Right. Patience is, okay, I'll check on it today as well. Okay, after 2 hours, I'll also check on it as well. But you're waiting. Like, I'm gonna do the work that is required for as long as it takes, and I'm gonna do it consistently. Yeah. That is what patience is about. Right. It's not the absence of patience. Is staying not away.
It's not staying away from activity. From pushing or activity.
Yes. So I will be patient, but I'll be active. I will keep checking. I'll keep doing what I need to do. I'll keep showing up, but I'm patient. It's like the gym. I know once in a while you've been in the gym, Brian. You know how gym work is. Muscle does not just show up there and then.
No.
Yeah, but you need that patient aggressivity. You know, with each rep that you do, are you patient enough to count your reps and leave the gym on that day feeling like you've done nothing actually because you're not seeing any. Yes. And keep doing the same thing and faithfully. Not that in front of my muscle, and then you keep, it doesn't work that way. You need that. It's aggression, but there's patience. until you actually see your body beginning to form. Yeah.
That brings me to another aspect of Umupampamina. You need a lot of patience, but that can't happen if your mental state is weak.
Thank you.
If you lack the mental muscle,
Toughness, yeah.
you know, which refer to as mental toughness in chapter 9 of your book.
Yes. Mental toughness is actually the most important aspect of business. Business is hard. I'll tell you that the time that I've been in business, it's one difficult venture because the kind of mental stress it will give you, if you are not careful, you can have mental health issues. When you're dealing with money, people will try you, people will test you, people will owe you money, others will refuse to pay you, others will play mind games, because business is a venture where people want to make profit as much as possible. So there's a lot of business games, for lack of a better phrase, that people will play on you. People will lie to you if you're not careful. People will want to deceive you. You know how the Bible talks about also the love of money is the root of all evil, and money can have that aspect where it's very stressful because everybody and almost everyone can do almost anything for money. So in that kind of environment, you need a healthy level of mental toughness. You need to maintain objectivity. There are many times where you'll be pursuing something and things will not look like they're going to work out. There are many times where you actually feel like giving up, throwing in the towel. It will stress you. So if you are not tough mentally, and people from Kopala, I love my Kopala people. If you're not tough mentally, you will give up. And a lot of people give up, not because something has no potential to work. It has a potential to work, but people lack that ability to stick to it even when it's hard, to continue even when it's not looking like it's not going to work out. So mental toughness is a very critical aspect.
That's very true, because it takes a lot of time for you to break even, doesn't it?
Yes.
I know of a friend of mine who is in the media space and owns a radio station. And when he tells you his story about where they started and when they managed to break even, you won't believe. Because you're just thinking, just took a year and, but it tells you, look, it took me about 10 years for me to start breaking even. There is a classic example of Umupampamina. And the same can be said about other artists also. You spoke about the Kopala artists and how they are aggressive. They'll tell you, I once went into a studio and the producer told me, look,
you can't do
this is not your thing. Try something else. But how then do you go past obstacles? Because that's another issue. Many people give up on their dreams, on their businesses, because they've been confronted by this hurdle and they feel, look, maybe this is not my area.
One wise woman, in fact, I was having this conversation not so long ago. She mentioned something. She said, we're talking about the same thing. And she said, one principle of business is you have the result that you want to have. And then you have your position where you are. And then in between, there's so many things that will not allow you to get to that. Business, the biggest skill in business is knowing how to go around anything that is an impediment until you have the results you're looking for. That is actually why that skill cannot be taught in class. There are people who have masters in business administration, but they're poor business people because that level of Umupampamina cannot be taught in the classroom. You actually need to learn to have that ability to have grit to still go on no matter what pushback you face. And so you learn to have that drive. You learn to, there's another chapter close to that in the book where I've wrote about the fact that you need to become discouragement proof. Yeah. So I'm one of those where I was told, you will not manage this, or you can't do this. But for me, always, whenever I face anybody tell me such a thing, I use that as fuel. For me, that's the actual petrol that I now use to drive forward even. Not because I want to prove a point to anybody, but no, I'm just determined that there's nothing that's going to be enough to discourage me, no matter what. Trust me, I'm in love with Kopala people. I've adopted the Bemba name, by the way.
All right.
My nickname is Chanda. Right. Yeah, I chose Chanda. I like Chanda. And Nigerian name?
Because of Chanda from the Chanda cake frame, who inspires you?
Nigeria, I love the name Olufemi.
All right.
Yeah, so Dr. Walubita Chanda Olufemi. Why? Because I love the spirit that they have.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, I think it's also the kind of upbringing. And these people sometimes go through very difficult circumstances. And just the whole idea or the concept of going underground to get that copper. Lebanese also.
Yeah.
Pamukuba.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You can't beat them.
Yeah.
They have it until they get what they need to get. They never stop. I admire that quality. And so that is what you need in business to succeed. Anybody that doesn't have that quality will fail in the first year of business. They will fail miserably and wash their hands and not involve Vuta.
So is it, in more practical terms, is it then okay? Maybe not okay, but should one endure making a loss at some point in that business?
I like how you've put that question because people think the opposite of success is failure. No.
All right.
The formula for success is failure plus failure plus failure plus failure equals success.
Okay.
In other words, failure is a stepping stone to success. So when you are failing, you are closer to making it. There's rampant, many examples. You can talk about the person who created the light bulb. You can talk about many inventors. They had several attempts. In fact, some inventions are actually an accident from somebody trying to create something else. People who created the iron, for ironing clothes. That was an accident in the process of creating something else. It didn't just wake up to say, I want to create something that can... No. And a lot of inventions come up that way. But the idea is, as you are attempting things, as you are trying things, you are getting closer because now you know what not to do. You keep eliminating. It's an elimination process. So this didn't work. No, we'll not do this. Let's try another. Before you know it, you are actually doing something that somebody has never done before. So failure is not a negative thing. It's actually a positive thing. Also, risk is a very healthy thing. We must try things, fail, try another thing, fail, try. Keep taking risks. And anybody who is a risk taker is successful.
Yeah. I know of another friend of mine who, because from the onset, when he got his first job, he used to say, look, I want, by the time I retire and I'll spend time at the farm, I want to be a pro at farming. So he failed along the way. And there was 1 year when there was severe drought. After investing millions of money, it went to waste. But now he's there. He's happening. But again, I could be wrong, Doc. Sometimes it's because people don't know the end result. That their vision is not very clear. So along the way, when they face a hurdle, it's easy for them to give up. But when you know your dream, when you know what you're fighting for, the Umupampamina spirit just keeps you going until you reach your dream, right?
But yes, true. But more so, Brian, I feel that people just prepare for the success. They don't prepare for the failure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because like I said, the stepping stones, imagine you're climbing on stairs. The stairs is the failures. So people want to just look at, if I think mountains and valleys, they focus on the mountaintop. Yeah, they don't see the valleys. They don't see, in fact, if you're going to make movement over 5-6 mountains, the distance you're going to cover is more in the valleys than the distance on the top of the mountains. So there are more valley moments that we go through in life than actually mountain peak moments. So I find that someone can see to say, my destination is there. Right now I'm thinking about a crazier example. And I've used this when talking about Umupampamina. Two crazy examples, but one example is people who harvest honey.
Yeah.
The first time you're doing it, just one bee sting, you will run.
Yeah.
But if you see these people that are seasoned honey harvesters, some of them will go in without any protection and bees will bite. This guy is just getting his honey. Bees will bite. And sometimes they will come out with, like swollen here and there. At the end of the day, I don't know what happens, but the bee will bite and there's no sting. It doesn't even hurt anymore. Why? I don't know how. I've never studied that in detail. But I will tell you, they have learned how to still get the honey despite the bite. You feel the pain, but you don't care about the pain because for you, it's your end goal. You want to harvest that honey. So if you can have that ability of, you know what, muzalu mabatuchi weve, nitenga. If you can have that, you are good. Now, talking about that, the crazy example is the way the Bible says the way of a man with a woman, you can't understand.
Yeah.
When a man wants a woman, umupampamina. They will do whatever. Dogs will chase the person. The father will come and throw stones at you. But one day he will be accepting lobola
from you.
Yeah. So I always say, if you can have that same aggressivity and that passion towards wanting to marry this girl, no matter what, and you marry her eventually, take that same spirit, bring it to making money. You'll be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Chapter
8 says avoiding the one-hit wonder mentality in business.
Nice. I put up that chapter because there are people that will demonstrate passion and aggression towards achieving one goal, and they will do everything and they will achieve it. And maybe to also give the concept of the one-hit wonder concept it's a musical concept where someone works so hard to produce a hit song. And then when they have done that hit song, they do not have ideas or the passion or the energy to do something at that level or beyond that particular song anymore. So, you remember this person for the one song that they did, and they were never able to do another, song to that level. So we call them a one-hit wonder. There are people like that in business. They just did one business deal, made a lot of money, but that was the end of them, and they never went back. And what we want to do is be in business to an extent where we create consistent value. Start something that will make you money for life, something that will bring profit for futures untold, not just something that will just make you money once and then it stops. All right. So again, in terms of business success, we don't seek to be a one-hit wonder. We seek to hit consistently and always keep at the top. That's how you remain at the top.
All right.
Yeah.
So you don't drop the Umupampamina spirit, even when you break even when you make it.
You keep going. Again, there's a chapter in the book, Brian, where I talked about how success has no stop button.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. When I began to become successful, I thought I could take a break. I thought I could relax. But what I realized is the moment you stop making money, you start losing money. And at the point that you stop being rich, you are poorer. There's not, this whole success thing, there's nothing like I have arrived. There's no arrival. So success requires that once you start, you have started till the day you die. There's no stop button. So you have to have achievement after achievement after achievement. I learned it the hard way. I tell you, there's a time where I was tired. I was like, you know what? Somebody who is even poor is better off. I actually felt that way at some point. But I told myself, look, you started this, you have to continue being successful, and the moment I stop, everything stops. So we must get in with that mind of, okay, if you want to be successful, it's a lifetime thing, and it's something that you have to keep achieving and having milestone after milestone through and through. You just can't stop.
I'm afraid I'll need to leave shortly, but not without asking you about chapter 13, whose title is "The Power of Loyalty to Your Ideas in Business."
Yes. Ooh, I'm even excited thinking about that.
Yeah.
People are not loyal to their ideas I have situations where I've told somebody, look, you've given me, I ask them, what's your dream in life? They tell you, and you're like, you know what? Okay, what if I were to help to fund that dream? You know what? People would rather go work somewhere for a job that has job security and not pursue their dreams. We have a lot of people like that they have hung their ideas and just shelved their concepts, and it's safer to go work somewhere for a predictable income rather than pursue your own idea. And for me, I call people like that disloyal to their ideas. Yeah. God has given you a concept. God has given you an idea. Why not be loyal to that? People would actually rather come and work for Dr. Walu. And I always tell people again, look, if you're coming to work for me, you will never be like me. There are people that come, no, I want to be like you, Dr. Walu. I'm like, you know what? Let's look at your ideas. Let's look at your concepts. And when they say, I want to be like you, then they want to come and work for me. I'm like, look, if you work for me, you will never be like me. Yeah. If you want to be as successful as I am, can you find your idea? And I was courageous enough to work on my dream, and I'm loyal to my dream. Let's make you loyal to your dream. And if we can do that, then you'll be as successful as I am. Not in the areas that I am in, because your dream is unique. Yeah. But look around, Brian. Look at the human beings around you. There's a lot of people that are not loyal to their ideas. We love other people's things. We celebrate other people's books, other people's businesses. We support. You've opened a barbershop, I'll be coming. You support. No, a saloon, I'll be coming. You know what? You've done a movie premiere, I'm coming to watch. But when are we going to celebrate your stuff? When are we going to, whatever your talent is, when are we going to have your things that we can also put money in? I'll tell you, people are just not loyal to themselves in that respect. It's sad for me.
Yeah, absolutely. As I leave, what's that one thing I should leave with?
Anybody who combines Niger thinking, Chinese, Kopala, Lebanese, Rwandese into one, you are a success. You have Umupampamina. If you lack those mindsets, you will never make it in business. You've already failed even before you start.
I think you've left out one thing. Reading this book.
Oh, thank you.
Read the Umupampamina book.
It starts there.
It starts there.
And did you see the cover? It's somebody pushing a stone.
Yeah.
Looks insurmountable.
Yeah.
But he's got Umupampamina.
Wow. where can people get this book?
Let them go on my Facebook, go on my YouTube, go on my TikTok account. Details are there on how they can request for a copy and purchase themselves a copy in soft copy or hard copy.
Yeah. Well, listen, Pastor Walu, always a pleasure appearing on your podcast. And you're right. We need the spirit, man.
Yes.
In all spheres.
Yeah.
But most importantly, in business, because it's not that some people look at the glamour, the profit that comes out as offshoots of your work in business.
They don't see the source.
They don't see the process.
Yeah.
And you need that. It's more than capital. You need Umupampamina, isn't it?
Yes. Because you ruin the capital, and then but someone with Umupampamina, any little money they will multiply it and be a success.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for hosting me on your podcast.
It's an honor.
I hope I can come again.
Yes, please. Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you.